Not long ago, I decided to start taking cold showers as part of my daily routine after being advised to do so by a friend. He made some good points as to why I should, but I wanted to look it up for myself. Sure enough, he was right. The benefits seemed endless. Increased alertness, boosting your immune system, and quicker fat loss are just a few I could name. I almost felt stupid that I hadn't tried this before and felt as if I'd been missing out on some almighty life hack. I awoke at 7 a.m. the next morning, and from my slumber I was met with a notion of excitement about taking my first cold shower. I rubbed my eyes and rolled out of bed before staggering to the bathroom. I stepped into the shower which hung over my bath and turned the handle anti-clockwise to begin the flow of water. I then turned the handle directly below the furthest I could to the left into the blue section. The icy beads hit the back of my neck like needles pricking my skin. Immediately I recoiled and jumped backwards away from the jet of water. After a few seconds, however, I gritted my teeth and told myself it was for my own good, before immersing myself back under the stream. This time it wasn't as bad. In fact, after a moment, I started to get used to the pain of the ice-cold water cascading down my neck and back. My body's automatic responses to regain some heat, including constant shivering and chattering of teeth, were no match for the freezing flow. I decided to ignore my body's attempts at telling me that what I was doing was a bad idea, and continued to subject myself to the sub-zero torture. I finished showering after a couple of minutes and, sure enough, like my research suggested, I was completely rejuvenated and alert. This, however, did not last. After the burst of energy subsided, I became slightly worried that I was still shivering despite being wrapped in a towel that had just been on a hot radiator. I chalked it down to my body not being used to cold showers and walked over to my bathroom mirror. What I saw in my reflection, however, startled me. My face was completely pale. Still shivering, I felt my face. It was ice cold. The next thing I noticed was my breathing. It had suddenly picked up in pace. The symptoms then came thick and fast. A wave of confusion and drowsiness washed over me. In a combination of blind panic and confusion, I scrambled back to the shower, but this time turning the handle the furthest to the right into the red section. This was a big mistake. As the barrage of scalding hot water hit my freezing skin, it immediately started to peel, revealing a layer of pink flesh underneath. An explosion of pain ran through my body. I tried to reach the handle to turn the shower off, but the moment I put my arm out, I was met with the same result. I then resorted to jumping out of the shower and falling onto the bathroom floor. I was then met with a whole new cacophony of pain as the cold floor tiles made contact with my raw exposed flesh. The whole ordeal must have lasted 30 seconds at most, but for me, it felt like everything was in slow motion. In the midst of it all, I must have let out a scream which caused my mum to rush upstairs to the bathroom, but she vomited immediately when she saw the state I was in. I can't remember much of what happened in the hospital, as I dipped in and out of consciousness. But what I can tell you is that the water coming out of my shower was so cold that I had contracted severe hypothermia and my skin had started to freeze. When I tried to warm myself up by going under the hot shower, my skin started to thaw and then peel away. I had contracted second-degree burns on my arms and parts of my back due to the almost boiling water hitting the exposed layer of flesh. Although I am fine now and any real damage was repaired by skin grafts, I can confidently say that I am never taking a cold shower ever again.